Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy. And if you do, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you stay up to date on further content. Julanchu, and welcome to Shadowstar. I'm Captain Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, and this is a Starship review video for Star Trek Online. The FERENGI Commerce Guild has asked that we extend an invitation to all members of the Alliance that they may wish to acquire this new vessel they are happy to produce and bring to us. Of course they are. For the right price of latinum, you can get yourself one hell of a new ship. And though this ship has battle cruiser traits about it, the Marauder, this Marauder, miracle worker and all, well, has some highly defensive and supportive attributes. So, without further ado, people, please get comfortable. Members of the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Republic, Dominion, and of course, we of the Federation. Allow me to introduce to you Kwok Special, the Kwok class FERENGI Marauder, a ship coming with the best of the best that the FERENGI Commerce Guild and FERENGI shipyards can supply you with. This ship is available currently via the Infinity Lockbox, so be sure to get your Zen Latinum together to be able to pay the Ferengis. Okay, as much as Cryptic have been quite greedy recently, we can give them a little bit of a sidewalling on this one, because they've also probably learnt a lesson a little bit from the Legendary Pack and have actually been a bit nicer. And okay, the Legendary Pack isn't quite as bad as initially thought. There is a couple of redeeming factors. But this ship, with the Infinity Lockbox, which means you must equip keys and attempt to buy, or you can possibly purchase it from the exchange, depending on the value of the ship in the exchange and how much people are asking for this ship. This FERENGI Marauder Tier 6 is definitely going to be one hell of a powerhouse. First things you may notice is the skin being quite similar to the FERENGI Nadine warship. Now, the Nadine warship was a tactical and science vessel of such great combative power, but not really all that FERENGI. It's probably why you don't really see the FERENGI flying it. It was made for the people in places such as the Orion Syndicate to really benefit, I would say. But this new FERENGI Marauder, this one truly sings songs of the FERENGI stereotype. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do respect the FERENGI. When they want to acquire something, they do. But as a rule of acquisition says, once in a while, declare peace. Confuses the hell out of your enemies. And this ship embodies that. Let us really begin. This tier 6 leveling ship, that was a bit of a mouthful, will happily grow with you through the ranks of lieutenant and upwards, so long as you have completed the tutorial. She is available to all factions, as I kind of assigned to in the introduction, and she comes with some specifically great benefits. First of all, we start in a strength zone with a whole strength of 1.3. This starship really this starship really knows how to shoveling its worth, a shield modifier of 1.2. This already makes her stronger than the Nadine. The Nadine being a good hull modifier, matching this ship's shield modifier, but had weaker shields than this ship, so been doing pretty well. But then she comes into her own. Oddly, you see, this ship has battlecruiser stats to it, being a marauder, but it also argues against that. For her weapons, she is a 5 forward, 3 aft, which is quite devastating to say, and an efficient turn rate, I should say, to this as well. Her turn rate is a well earned, I would say, 9 degrees. Nowhere near as good as Nadini, but she is a much tougher ship. Secondly, to speak, she has 4 device slots, and her inertia, they've translated this. STO have been quite nice, since people didn't quite understand what inertia meant, or some people don't understand what inertia means. Friction / traction has been increased, or is a increased 55. Won't be drifting your enemies very well with it being that high, but it's not too bad. At least if we need to come to a quick stop, she's one of those ships that sort of can. She has a very impressive bonus power setting of 10 to weapons, 10 to shields, 5 to engines and 5 to auxiliary. Again here boasting that she's defensive and offensive. Wow, that really is Ferengi. But then we really get into the meat of it. After acknowledging that her impulse modifier is a 0.15, we can actually safely assume that this ship has earned the name Kwok. You see, what do we know about Kwok? Kwok could fight if you pushed his back to a wall or gave him enough latinum or enough incentive. Mugi as a good example. Kwok could fight, and this ship can fight, but it's not its strength. Following through, she's equipped with basic phaser weaponry and a quite impressive lineup of consoles. You see, she has 3 tactical, 4 science, 4 engineering, 1, as all miracle workers tend to, universal. This is a pretty damn powerful thing for this ship. Why? Because it's that 1 extra console slot that can make it a 4-4-4. That's a very stable and very balanced layout for Starship, and for this ship in Pacific actually makes her very damn powerful. In fact, maybe one of the best ships going, and that is just based on consoles. You see, if you consider your average console layout, you're normally besting at, if you've got one say at 4, 2 at 4, you can guarantee the other one will be 3 or 2. And that's almost guaranteed across the board. And it's almost impossible to get all 3 of them at 4. Yes, you can use universal console positions, and that can give some element of power. And because a lot of ships use universal consoles, the universal console position isn't always the utmost best thing to have. But some of the greatest builds don't use universal consoles, and are held back by this factor. Thanks to this universal console slot, and thanks to her being a possible 4-4-4, you've got one of the most versatile ships going. Then you get onto her stations, and that is where she gets even better. This ship comes equipped with a Commander Engineering Miracle Worker position for Engineer, a Science Miracle Worker position at the rank of Lieutenant Commander. You then have a Lieutenant Engineering, a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, and finally a Universal Ensign. So let's recite that. Tactical positions, Lieutenant Commander. Engineering positions, Commander and Lieutenant. Commander position is a Miracle Worker station. Science positions, Lieutenant Commander, also Miracle Worker station. 1 Ensign Universal. That's effective. For a start, this blends very well into the fact that this ship is one of those ships which has a very much tanky role about it. Secondly, we can see that this ship has, well, effectively good DPS potential if you want to make full use of it. And finally, her support potential is right up there. All this is to say that thanks to her stats, this starship is a very strong tank, both hull and shield tank. Is an effective support ship in many ways, and she can DPS, however limitedly. However, she is quite the effective science DPS, much like the Nardini. If you take all this into the account, this starship has been equipped with all the luxuries that the Ferengi like to give us. We're looking at one hell of a beastie starship. Can this get better though? Well, yes. First of all, the console battle module. This is a very useful console. Now, here's the thing. This is essentially taking the Decora Ferengi Marauder and turning it into a Chimera, if you know which ship I'm talking about. That's right, the veteran ship of the Federation, and also the veteran Klingon, Romulan and Dominion ships all have this kind of ability to a varying degree, where they have a Locust Phaser Arc or Disruptor or whatever, and have the ability to massively drain shields. Well, the Ferengi Battle Mode 4000 takes this and perhaps improves on it. Depends on your viewpoint. Though it does take up a console position, it will give you plus 1% critical chance, okay, and plus 10 to accuracy rating. This is quite effective. Maybe not one of the best, but is useful and works very well with the metaphasic Solace capacitor. This is a console that you get with the Nardini. So, Ferengis, one and all, if you've enjoyed your Nardini, your Decora, just got an upgrade and you might want it. In its defensive mode, it has an EMP burst. This reduces the power levels and power transfer rate of your opposition, reducing all subsystem energy by 30 for 11.8 seconds. That is massive, and is even enough to knock some ships offline in certain areas. Hell, with a number of PvP players that I know of that don't keep their shields up high, for whatever reason, you've got the possibility to take their shields clean offline, and if they're doing this with an escort, well, you better believe that that tricobalt device you may be armed with is going to blow them the hell up. Effective, yes. It also reduces power transfer rate by 66% for 30 seconds. Most ships are boosting power transfer rate in some manner when it's PvP, but hey, that's also going to be effective against your PvE targets. Well, it also prevents the use of batteries for 30 seconds, so once again, boosting in your PvP area. Anyone tries to counteract you doing this to them with that batteries, it ain't gonna work, and that is brilliant. Battle mode transformation will also allow you to use the Swarm Missile. Swarm Missile is a 90-degree attacking arc. Similar to your torpedo launchers, this fires a barrage of missiles, dealing 1,246.6 kinetic damage times 8. Charge time required 1 minute. The EMP burst is only 1 minute. So let me reiterate this. Normally, you'll find that these abilities have 2-minute cooldowns, but this specific console has only a minute cooldown. That is extremely effective and powerful. Suffice to say, if you're fighting a Chimera, you actually have the advantage. Turns out the Ferengi might not be that bad at building ships, or Kwok has learnt well from the Battle of DS9. Next up in the gun plots, the energy monopoly. You know, the Ferengi are great at getting a monopoly on things. They were straight in there to get a monopoly on the Gamma Quadrant, weren't they? Well, energy monopoly will allow the aceton beam and overwhelm regulators to drain power. This is great because it means these exotic damage or disables can now also drain, and that is effective. It will drain minus 6.3 all power levels for 10 seconds, and for yourself, well, you will gain 12.6 to all power levels. Effectively, you gain double what you take. Must be some kind of special catalyst working there with that trait. Now, I don't know if I really think this is all that great. Personally, I don't use aceton beam or overwhelm regulators that often. So this is useless to me. But it is a good console, and a good trait. So I'll give it at least a thumbs up. But it only scores a 6 out of 10 for me as far as traits go. It's good if you're the type to use those abilities. However, the console's overwhelming capabilities gets a 9 out of 10 for me, even though its passive abilities aren't all that great. Its active abilities more than make up for it. Oh, and for those wondering, here is battle mode. Battle mode extends the fins that the nose and the attack fins, and also enhances the bridge, lifting it. You take an aggressive, angry stance, and the ship is ready for battle. But this is not the Ferengi way, as naturally believed, well, as you see him doing. So, it's safe to say, it's good to see it has a defensive mode. Now then, guys, I'm sure you're bored of me talking. Do you know what I would love to know? Whether or not this does anything to the Ferengi Nadini. Someone's gonna have to let me know. For now, though, it's time for me to show you this ship in combat. Let's go. Helm, I think they're comfortable. Time to take us out. Engage. Well, people, if you're ready, it's time to test out our Kwok class. And, well, with a modest build, I'm sure the Jem'Hadar here are going to be greatly disappointed. Weapon settings are balanced. Let's head in and take these boogers out. And you know what? We're going to start with being really mean. We're going to get nice and close and... oh yeah, it's rear of the ship only. Yeah. Side note that I forgot to mention, it only affects foes on the aft. So basically, the EMP burst is for running away. Now, this aside, there's nothing stopping us from going a little bit mean at the moment. Whoa! Oh look, set off the miracle worker ability, didn't I? Now that we're in battle mode, let's fire these torpedoes and see what they can do. Oh, missiles. Whoa, okay. They did a good amount of damage. How about this? Well, all things considered, that was a bit brutal. The thing is, battle mode has its own little thing. You see, when you enter battle mode, It will disable the defensive mode, of course, and defensive mode abilities, but it will give you plus 30 to Starship energy weapons training and plus 30 to projectile weapons. It's for a short period after transformation, but it is a chance for you to hit hard rapidly. In other words, proc all your abilities, go into battle mode, and you're going to hit extremely hard. In fact, we're going to attempt to somewhat display this in a moment. It'll also boost this ship's weak spot. You see, this ship did have a weak spot in its turn rate. It was relatively low. However, activating battle mode will increase your turn rate by 30% and give you plus 20 to plus 10 to weapons and plus 5 to engines, minus 5 to auxiliary. So, do you remember the original stats? That's right. The bonus power settings was a 10 weapons, 10 shields, 5 engines, 5 auxiliary. Well, when battle mode is active, that becomes 20 weapons, 10 shields, 10 engines, no auxiliary. You don't want to say powerful yet? Let's running again, and this time we're going to actually EMP this bugger. Better be quick though. We're going to go past. Here we go. As we pass by him, struck with the EMP, and he slowed a little bit, but not too visibly. It would probably be better to see that used on an enemy ship. Too bad I can't really test it that way. Oh, fire at will and scatter volley going off. Jem'Hadar, Jem'Hadar, Jem'Hadar. Did you not hear what I said I was going to do? Here is a battle mode explained. Wow, okay. I expected it to go down, but not quite that heavily. Okay, the battleship is a little bit stronger. Keep in mind how much stronger the battleship is to the one we just took down. I want to say out of battle mode, considering the stats. I'm going to wait a moment before I activate anything off again. Yeah, considering the stats, we should do 30% damage. If I do 30% damage, I'm going to say that battle mode is excessively powerful. If I don't do 30% damage, then about right. I just realised I'm not even using attack pattern beta. I should be. Is he really firing on us? Again? Okay. Well, we don't have the all abilities, but here we go. That same boost, and we did nearly 50% of the damage. It seems battle mode will improve our power by about 50%. Well, by almost double, should I say. Not quite double, but effective enough that you can see the ship is going to be. If I had to classify where I'd place this ship, I would probably end up putting it in the... I beg my pardon a second. Ding. If I had to classify where I'd put this ship, I'd probably say this is more of a support ship, even though the tank is its definite strongest area. Scatter volley. Can you guys guess what I'm just about to test? Yep. How quickly can we erase numerous foes? I am going to cheat a little bit though.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Power weapons up. All things proc. Let's use this to draw our enemies in nice and tight. Oh god, I'm getting a good angle arc anyway. Guys, that was all 3 enemy ships just erased. I know a boosted weapons power, but god damn. I think it is very safe to say that we're looking at a beast of a ship going on here. Beast of a ship with some frighteningly good potential. If I had to score this ship down and mark it up, you'd probably find me saying something like, well, okay, I'm going to do it, but also we're going to go to the Starship bridge because this ship has a unique bridge. The Decora bridge. What you got with the tier 5 Ferengi Decora? Okay, it's not great, but it's there. Shut up. So, as we beam to the bridge, awkwardly, if I had to rate this ship, I'd say DPS. DPS, I would give this ship tactical DPS is pretty average, but side DPS is pretty damn good. So I think I'd give this ship a 7.5 out of 10. Considering average only scores 5 out of 10 with me. So it's done pretty well. It's in the midpoint. Support. It is got quite good potential in support. Yes, the science bridge officer positions lack it a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's about the same as the what it gets for tactical. And well, you then counter that with 1 miracle worker, which is great for support. Engineering positions are great support, and well, let's just be fair. It's got a universal console position, could possibly 5 science consoles or 5 engineering. I'm gonna have to give this ship 9 out of 10 for support. As far as tanking goes, whole tank, I'm gonna have to say, I think whole tank wise, I'm gonna have to say this ship is probably one of my favourites. Shield tank is pretty damn good, and so with one getting pretty much 9 out of 10 and the other one getting a 7 out of 10, this ship definitely gets a 8 out of 10 for me as far as tanking goes. Actually no, I'm going to say 9 out of 10 for tanking as well, because you can shield and hold tank together effectively. So, an overall score for this ship. I think the overall score I'm going to give this ship is 8 out of 10. Mostly because by being readily balanced in certain areas, it does jeopardize itself to be absolutely brilliant in others. But at the same time, this ship is a brilliant little ship. It's just a pity in my mind that it wasn't 5 engineering. If it was 5 engineering and capable of having 6 engineering console positions, we would be looking at a ship that, well, would have been one of the most powerful tanks going. Same could possibly be said science-wise. Personally, I really do like this ship. I see the bridge is quite nice as well. Just don't let those spheres go anywhere near you. They'll drive you into thinking you're on top of the Stargazer and about to destroy yourself. Oh, and to everyone in my stream that a few nights back, you were asked if we had a Darbo table. Well, I'd just like to let you know that the Darbo table is ready and available for you on your new ship. With this being said, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, well, I pray that you will check out my social media links in the description. This way you'll be able to keep track of every time I pull up a video and everything that both channels are doing. And plus you can join in the conversation with the rest of the Discord crew. When I say social media links, I do mean Discord. To my very generous supporters via either donation or Patreon, guys, a massive thank you for your support and your generosity to keep this channel going. And finally, a huge thank you to everyone that's watched to the end of this video. May fortune favour you. And until next time, truly, live long and prosper, my friends. Ciao for now.